All right, so everyone wants to get a pump during their workout, and probably the most famous supplement of all time to date on that is Arginine, right? Well, why is it the case? First off, how do we increase blood flow? Well, you got to sort of think of it like this. Essentially, Arginine serves as a precursor for nitric oxide. Nitric oxide is a gas, basically, that tells basically blood flow to increase, or it causes vasodilation. Now, when we talk about blood flow, you got to understand there's two different types of blood flow. There's what we call bulk flow, and that's when more blood is moving toward the muscle, okay? And then there's what we call nutritive flow. Now, nutritive flow is actually when we stimulate what are called capillaries. And capillaries are around the muscle, are these small little blood vessels. They have to open up for us to take carbs into the muscle. They have to open up for us to take nutrients into the muscle. And in fact, when you eat a meal and insulin increases blood flow, guess how it's working? It increases nitric oxide. So again, Arginine basically is one of the main substrates or building blocks of that nitric oxide. So people go, hey, let me supplement with during exercise. Important thing to understand is that during exercise, when you take things like Arginine, like 7 grams, 8 grams of Arginine before you exercise, we do see that your muscle becomes more efficient, meaning you actually have to use less oxygen to complete a certain movement. What that might suggest that your muscle's using more nutritive flow and is becoming more efficient, right? Whereas Arginine doesn't really increase bulk flow during exercise, like that huge amount of blood flow, but it might increase nutrient exchange, which would be good for repairing the muscle, okay? So what's the whole thing? Again, that's probably around 5 to 7 grams. What's this whole thing about Citrulline, right? Is it better than Arginine? Well, the main thing is that when you consume Arginine, a lot of it does get broken down before it actually hits the blood. Like, gets broken down by the gut, gets broken down by the liver, what we call splanchnic tissues, non-muscle tissue gets broken down, so only a little bit of it is actually reaching the blood. Citrulline is a precursor to Arginine. So when you take Citrulline, which is really popular in pre-workouts, it basically, more of it actually doesn't get broken down as readily as Arginine. So more of it reaches the blood, so you actually get more Arginine levels in your blood. So instead of maybe needing to take like 7 grams of Arginine, maybe you only need to take 3 to 5 grams of Citrulline to get an effect. So that's basically how Citrulline works, kind of same way. Now, some key points on supplementation. Do you need to cycle Arginine or Citrulline? The answer is yes. If you look at clinical studies, basically when you take Arginine, it might help with like that nutritive flow initially, but eventually you will upregulate an enzyme called arginase that's going to break down Arginine. And if you take it every single workout, every single day, with several meals or whatever, eventually you're going to upregulate that enzyme and it won't work as well. So what we suggest is use it for your hardest workouts, and then probably every 4 to 6 weeks, come off it for a few weeks before going back on. We'll see you on the next episode.